TIL that Hamilton, the capital of Bermuda, is the city with the highest cost of living in the world. The cost of living is 47.42 higher than New York City. Was just there, can confirm, very expensive and tons of banking. Also, Hamilton isn't as safe as you make it sound, still some crazies and drunks roaming, although very easy to avoid, rest of the island is safe AF. So expensive, fish sandwich at the beach shack was $25 and good luck from there. Even the grocery stores were pricey. While Iceland was insane price-wise, you could find something at bonus within reason. Bermuda, I'm sure there is a few local only places I didn't see, although I saw the whole island. My college had some people who came from just monumentally privileged families and of course didn't believe they were privileged. I didn't grow up poor by any means, but I wasn't wealthy by any means either. I was there on scholarship. And I was a business major, so it seemed like 95 of my classmates were like this. There was this one kid who was absolutely blown away that I had never been to Bermuda. Kyle could not fathom that a human being couldn't afford a trip there. I've met two people from Bermuda in my life. One was cool. The other was disagreeable. Maybe but mad over the high prices down there. Not surprised about the high prices, though. It's a small island in the middle of nowhere where everything is probably imported and it's a UK overseas dependency or whatever the proper term is. And the UK is expensive, so a small isolated island that's politically attached to the UK has got to be even more expensive. Asked and was sent there for work to live. Would have been an adventure, and my industry is basically domiciled there, all the major firms have registered there. Ended up turning it down. It's not quite the experience people think it is. Ended up in Nashville lol, and I'm super happy, so it all worked out. Still went there a ton for work. Vacation in Bermuda twice. Lovely country, lovely people. As far as vacation cost, it felt less expensive to visit than Switzerland, which is obviously another high cost of living country. All this to say, I'd highly recommend visiting. It might not be as obnoxiously expensive as you think. My family went for vacation like 8 years back. Everything was crazy expensive, because they literally can't grow anything. They generally have basically no natural resources, included fresh water. But hey, beautiful place with amazing people, definitely would go back. Seems somehow fitting that Hamilton is more expensive than New York. When billionaire Mike Bloomberg was mayor of NYC, he usually spent his weekends via private jet at his home in Bermuda. I paid $40 for fish and chips at an English pub in Hamilton. Had a chat with the owner, nice bloke, told me it's really expensive to import stuff, not a lot of vegetation on the islands. I asked how expensive is it to import fish? You're on a fucking island. Lots of financial institutes based there, mostly reinsurance pay is incredibly good if you work for one of those companies. They usually pay you the equivalent of 2 salaries cause they assume you are going to bring your family who won't be able to work. Average expenses for a solo in Bermuda is about $2,500, an average salary is $5,300. It seems like the numbers are really high, but relatively, the average person is getting by well enough. Like New York's inflated rent and matching salaries. I got to spend 10 days there for work a few years back, and it was super cool. When I had time off, I just rode around the island on my scooter and the signs of subtle absurd wealth were everywhere. Yeah. It's an island nation that has to import something like 50 million in food a year. That's somewhere around 8-12 of their total imports depending on what year you're looking at. I just got back from a cruise there. This is a fact. Their low-income housing is $600,000. But a lot of cool history there in general. Having lived in Bermuda down towards Dockyard, it's likely because there are no income taxes in Bermuda, just sales taxes. That is obscene. I'm going to hazard a guess and say crime is dealt with harshly too. Well, poor crime anyway. Was just there 2 months ago. Some locals told me the average cost of a house is just under $1 million. I've heard from people living on the island that sometimes they go on vacation to save money. Sure. Next town over is probably one of the most poor and affordable though. Just a guess? Also the capital city with the best business fashion sense.